Today we are at Mahnomen, Minnesota at the White Earth Reservation. We are doing a field trial, a water race, and a bench show. First up we have the water race. My dog Harry Plotter didn't quite make it out of that box in time before he shut the gate on him. And that's his second water race, and he did about as good in this one as he did in the last one. Didn't make it too far. We have a total of 8 dogs swimming today, so there's going to be 2 heats and then a final heat. Well, there's only 2 clubs that offer water races in Minnesota, Gilman and Mahnomen here, and Mahnomen's got a much longer water race track. I would estimate it's at least 75 yards. Oh, and there's my puppy Harry. He'll figure out one of these days. I might have to take him and go throw him in a lake or something. The winner of the first heat was Sonny's girl, Ruby. And now we're on to the second heat. Ranger and I jumped onto a trailer of a 4-wheeler and we're whipping around the pond, getting to the other side so we can watch the dog swim in. My dog, Northern Nights Pooh Bear, is swimming in this one. She's a pretty fast swimmer. She only needs 40 points at this time to move up to a water race champion. Ranger and I run down the hill and I fall. We do make it to the other side with more than enough time to watch the dog swim in. There's my girl Pooh Bear up in front. And then there's one of Erica's walker dogs and Mrs. Fancy, another plot hound. Erica's walker dog, I forget her name, but she's 8 years old and she's still hanging in there with these younger dogs. And Pooh Bear takes a line right there. And she moves up onto the beach and gets to the tree, and she takes tree as well. So she will be going to the finals to go against Sonny's girl, Ruby. Pooh Bear got to do a little pre-competition swim. She tugged herself free of me after the first heat. She could smell that coon. The wind was blowing in across the pond here. So she got to do a little exercise before the race. We're on to the finals, and both dogs are off to a pretty good start. They go neck and neck pretty much all the way to the end. Open water race class goes on a point system. You need 100 points and an overall line and an overall tree to move up into water race champion. Once they become a water race champion, they move up into the champion class, and they get that champion title put on their pedigree. My overall dream for Pooh Bear is to make her a quad grand, but that's a long road ahead of me. A quad grand would be a grand show champion, a grand night champion, a grand field trial champion, and a grand water race champion. Pooh Bear always likes it when the boat gets, well, I don't know if she likes it, but she always swims faster when the boat gets farther away from her. You can see her start to pull ahead here. She pulls up ahead far enough to take line. And then she struggles, a little bit deeper water there, and the walker goes on and starts to smoke her and gets first tree. Oh, Pooh Bear took line and Rudy took tree. Now we're on to the field trials. I got all 3 of my dogs running field trials. Harry was in the first heat. There he is. I'm surprised he actually made it to the end. But all 3 dogs seemed to walk right on past it.
That kind of sucked.
Field trials are a great way to take your dogs out and compete in public and make your dogs look like complete idiots.
I'm going to put this on the internet.
She's going to get it right now. There you go. She's saying, didn't I show it to you?
Oh. There we go.
And we got a tree winner. And Harry actually took the line. So both the tree winner and the line winner will move on to the semifinals. We have 15 dogs competing in the field trials today.
Where did our dogs go? Yeah, that's...
And Harry comes from up on the hill. He might have been up there playing with a little kid or something. But he comes in. Here's the other dog barking. On to the second heat. We got Tigger, my 3-legged plot, and a red bone first dogs in. And they run right past the tree. Tigger knows that coon's around here somewhere. She lost the trail. She's trying to pick it back up again. And she runs over to the red bone, and she doesn't honor his slick tree. He might be able to win that coon right there. I don't remember what way the wind was blowing, but that red bone knows the coon's around there somewhere too. And he does bark into the circle. So he will get first tree, and Tigger took line. So they will be moving on to the semifinals. I do not have the third heat recorded. I had it recorded, but no dogs got tree on that. They timed out. We did have a line winner, and a line winner will move on to the semifinals. I got my dog Pooh Bear running on this heat. And of course, she ran past the tree. The black and tan will get first tree, and it was Pooh Bear who got line. So both these dogs will move on to the semifinals. Now we are into the semifinals, and I have two dogs. I got Harry and Tigger, both right there, competing against each other here with one of Erica's dogs. And it looks like Tigger's telling me what she thinks about these field trials. Thank you, Tigger. Now why don't you go bark up that tree? She is sure taking her time. You'll see Harry come around and go back up. Harry gets back up on his backtrack and backtracks all the way up to the starting point. So instead of treeing in the tree where he knew the coon was, he ran the backtrack, which was a half-mile long, all the way up to the trucks. And Tigger's still not treeing on that tree yet. This is Tigger's first field trial. It's Harry's first field trial too. But I would expect Tigger to do better and be barking on a tree right now. Harry doesn't have that much experience, so I'm not really surprised on how he's behaving. Pooh Bear has been in one field trial before, and she made it to the finals, but she did not get a line or a tree.
Doing something.
There she's doing something. She's going the wrong way, but she can pick up that track again and come back into the tree, hopefully. And she's looking up at the tree, and she sees the coon, and she's standing there. She's still standing there. The walker dog came in and looked at the coon too, and took off. And she's standing there, and she's standing there, and they're both there. I'm screaming in my head right now, bark, 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 just screaming in my head. And bark, yes, and Tigger will take tree. I didn't get the footage for the second semifinal, so we're moving right into the finals. I got Tigger and Pooh Bear both competing in the finals, along with a walker dog, one of Erica's, and a black and tan. We got 4 dogs in the finals. Oh, and there's both my plots coming in together, followed by Rudy and the black and tan dog. And they end up giving the points to Pooh Bear for the tree and Tigger for the line. So I'm happy. And both my dogs got a line and a tree. Now we're on to the bench show. This is champion males right now. We got Ranger with Figueroa's Old Pete plot. And then there's me with Northern Nights Pooh Bear. I had the pleasure of showing both these males up into show champion.
Looking good, Wise.
That's Ranger. His dog came over and got to stay over at my place for a while because he was over training cadets in Kentucky at Fort Knox. So I got to show him at some bench shows. I got a night on him, put a couple cast wins on him. At this point, he only needs one more cast win to become a Grand Night champion. He's a great plot, and he's going to be the stud I'm going to use for Pooh Bear when I decide to breed Pooh Bear, which won't be for a while yet. And this is his first champion bench show, and this is Harry's third one, I believe. And this will be his third win. I will be showing all 3 of my dogs at the Long Prairie bench show coming up September 6th. It's going to be the state hunt for Minnesota. I'll have Harry and the champion males yet, and then I'll have Pooh Bear and the champion females, and then Tigger, the three-legger, will be in open female. If I could go back in time, I don't think I would have done too many bench shows with my dogs. I think I would have kept them in the lower classes and done a little bit bigger bench shows and more Purina events and got some more Purina points. So the next puppy I get, I think I'm going to be a little bit more conservative with. Harry is pretty beautiful. He's still got his puppy body yet. He's not developed yet, but I could imagine him looking freaking awesome as an adult. So he'll be getting shown like well into being a grand. I'll have to take him to plot days next year. It's hard for these puppies to compete with these older males. This is Ranger's first bench show. I'm really hoping he kind of sticks with it. A lot of these hardcore hunter guys, well, not a lot of them, a couple of them, really aren't into the bench shows, but it proves your dog's got good conformation. And Harry will win. It's a problem with a lot of backyard breeders. They breed dogs. You know, they don't know the first thing about what the dog should gait like or what the dog should look like or breed standards. This is open female right here. That's my little girl Tigger. She had a hunting accident jumping out of the back of my truck one night and broke her leg. I maxed out my credit cards trying to save it, but in the end it just went heel, so we chopped it off. I should maybe come up with a better story than that. She had a hunting accident one night. She was saving these kids from a rabid mountain lion, and she ended up losing her leg. The winner between these two will take breed and class. They're both plot and they're both junior, which means they're over a year old and under 2. The winner will move on to compete for best female a show. I had Tigger inside one day and she's just laying down next to the couch, and I was just thinking how bad I felt for her. She hasn't got to do much hunting this year, and she doesn't get to travel with me and go to the bench shows or any of the competitions or anything. And I was looking at her feet and I was like, wow, she's got really tight, good looking feet. And if a dog has an injury, a physical deformity or anything like that from a hunting accident, they cannot be disqualified in the UKC Coonhound bench shows. So I thought I'd give her a try. I took her to a bench show when she was about 6 months old, and she did get class and breed there, so she's already got 25 points going towards her title. But we haven't got an overall win yet, and then we'll just need an overall win and 100 points to make her a show champion. I'm going to bring her at least up that high. I don't know if I can bring her up to a show champion or grand show champion, but I might get a bug up my butt. Probably have to work with her a little bit more. It's kind of hard to get her to, she can't really stand how I want her to stand because she can't balance properly. So I might have to work with her and kind of find out something that works a little bit better. But a good judge should see past the missing leg. The key to standing the dog up on a bench is to remember that things should line up and things should be straight. You want straight front legs. You want their hock to be straight. You want a nice curve of the back leg though, like up on the ham. I forget the parts. I know Stephanie made me read all this stuff, so I should know all the correct terms and everything. So I'll have to go back and kind of check that stuff out. But then you want their front and back legs to line up. And with one back leg missing, she's got to keep it kind of more centered, so there's no way to really line that up. For how little I've actually had Tigger up on the bench, she's doing really well. She's not moving or fidgeting around too much. The only time she really shifts her legs, well, she's being a little bit of a brat right there. But the only time she really shifts her legs is when I try to like reposition them, and she'll lose balance and she'll move her legs. And I thought he was about to make his announcement right there, but then he comes back in and gives the dogs another look over. This is the first time I've seen this judge. Man, I do like it when they play close attention and go over the dogs really well. He's gonna go. He's gonna get the ribbons for best of class and breed. Now he's gonna announce the winner. He's giving him one final look over. Stephanie told me never to lift up a dog's chest like that when I'm bench showing them, but when she's not around, I do that stuff all the time. Tigger will win best of breed and best of class, and she'll get 25 points towards her title for that. Now we move on to overall female for the open class. Trying to represent things here for all the three-legged dogs of the world here. I do think I'm going to try her in a water race. I haven't swam her since she's only had 3 legs, but she used to swim just as fast as her sister Pooh Bear. This is a good time for me to give a shout out to Chase. Chase, thank you for helping my dad handle his dog. He really appreciated it. I try holding her up a little bit better when I move that back leg so she doesn't quite lose balance so well, but it doesn't seem to work as much as I thought it would. I'm still having issues. Not a bad day. Tigger got class and breed in the bench show. She got first line in the field trial out of 15 dogs. Pooh Bear got first line in the water race. And she got first tree in the field trial. And then Harry got show champion male in the bench show. So we brought home some plaques. I want to thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. I'm going to keep putting these videos up, and hopefully they keep getting better.